This review is made possible by Toyota of Naperville. Toyota of Naperville is the largest Toyota dealer in Illinois with hundreds of new and used vehicles in their inventory. Visit www.toyotaofnaperville.com or in person at 1488 West Ogden Avenue in Naperville, Illinois. Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2019 Toyota Sienna. Up front is a 3.5 liter V6 and down below is an 8-speed automatic transmission. If you want to read more of my thoughts, head on over to carmarshal.com/overdrive, where I'll be writing a complete article about the Sienna. And last but not least, if you would like to see my videos before they are released to the public, I do have a Patreon that can be found in the description below. For $2 a month, you get to see all of my videos way before they come out on YouTube. But let's get back to that 3.5 liter V6. Well, we've dealt with this engine before here on the channel. The Tacoma that we drove had a 3.5 liter V6. The Camry that I reviewed had an optional 3.5 liter. I reviewed the smaller engine, but it does have the optional 3.5 liter as well. So this is a very thought through engine. They use it in a bunch of their platforms at Toyota. And so there's no real guesswork that goes into this. It's not any new technology that might crap out after 5 years. You'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you have a pretty solid engine under your hood. Now, like I said, paired to it is an 8-speed automatic transmission. It is not a CVT, which it's a pretty standard 8-speed. Nothing really interesting there, nothing crazy. It's been shifting real well. It's been shifting normally, so no complaints there. And last but not least, about the drivetrain in the Sienna, is that this particular one, this is the lower end Sienna, is front wheel drive, but there is an all-wheel drive option. So if that is something that you'd like, you can actually pick up a Sienna with all-wheel drive. Now you might be thinking all-wheel drive, that's really weird for a minivan. Not a whole lot of minivans have all-wheel drive. Well, actually, you're wrong, because in the 90s, there were a handful of minivans that were all-wheel or four-wheel drive. For instance, the Mazda MPV came with a four-wheel drive option. So the Sienna isn't the world's first all-wheel drive minivan, but it is really, really nice that you can get that feature. All right, so we are in the Toyota Sienna, 3.5 liter V6. We're gonna do a poll here on the test track. That's why we love our dealership reviews. So I'm actually gonna put it over here into S, push it all the way down to first gear, and wheel spin. That took a lot more effort and a lot more out of me than what I thought it was going to do. Not bad acceleration. Obviously, you're not going to throw down crazy drag times at Route 66 dragway, but you will be able to pass people. It's a V6. It has a lot more torque than an inline 4. So let's move on to the interior. Well, in front of me, I have two gauges on my left and my right. On the left, I have my tachometer, which I love. I love the fact that it still has a tachometer, and inside of that is your coolant temperature. On the right, speedometer, and in the middle of that is your fuel. Then in the center, you get a little screen. I think almost all Toyotas have this little screen. You can switch through a couple things here. Miles till empty, my audio, my traction control and lane keep assist, my messages, PCS and LDA, lane departure assist. I have my miles per hour in actual digits, which is really nice. And then back to audio off. On the steering wheel, I have a couple buttons. Obviously, volume, Bluetooth phone, and phone controls on the left. And then on the right, we have my selector for the center screen, lane keep assist, and parking sensor buttons. To the left, I have a couple blank switches. Like I said, this is the lower end model of the Sienna, but I do have my traction control off button, which is handy. And then I also have a little coin holder, which is interesting. And then next to that is the power door off button. So you can shut off the power doors, which we will talk about when we get to the rear. Then to my far left, I do have my window options, child locks, which is going to be a huge deal in the minivan. But interestingly enough, all four windows are one touch down as well as one touch up. They all four have the little A symbol, so they are one touch down and up, which is super nice. In the center, I have a nice touchscreen display. I really like this radio. It's very simple to use. There's no guesswork really involved here. And I really like that. It's very clean, very simple. It's a pretty basic radio. It's not going to do backflips for you, but it's a solid radio and it's going to do what you want it to do. It has map, menu, audio, phone, apps, all that stuff. Then we get to the climate control section, which is one of the largest climate control sections I've seen. The buttons are very big, and I understand why. When you're driving a minivan, there's a lot of things usually going on. You're usually driving it at full capacity. That's really what minivans are for. And so you don't want to be doing any guesswork when you're trying to change the climate control. Similarly, say you have a minivan full of kids and your kid is riding shotgun. He's 7 years old, 8 years old, whatever it may be. You don't want to have to explain to them how to do stuff. It's very easy to see up here, very simple. If you want rear, literally the rear button is so big, it's hard to miss. Then you have the shifter off to the left. It's actually sort of like pushed up off to the left. Normally, I don't really like shifters that are on the dash, but it is automatic. You're gonna touch it once and then you're gonna forget about it until you park, so not really that big of a deal. Then down below all of that, you have two little cup holders that pop out of the dash, a USB and aux input, a cigarette lighter, a little shelf, and then the actual center console has two, I guess, grown-up cup holders and then a giant center console. I mean, you could fit a cat in there. Not that you should or would, but it's pretty big. Then we'll talk about the seats. The seats I actually like a lot. They're captain seats. You have plenty of room in here. You're not squeezed in here. I mean, these things are made for long journeys. You're gonna be comfortable. They have the captain's seats. They do have these little foldable armrests, which I also really like. Without this armrest here, it would be horrible to drive. Now, driving any minivan, it kind of feels like you're sitting on it more than in it. Don't expect crazy road feel. I mean, it really does feel like you're sitting on the minivan instead of in it. But that being said, the ride is really nice. I know I don't usually comment on the rides, but this is actually surprisingly really nice. And the fact that I review these cars at the same test track, this definitely has it's one of the nicest riding Toyotas that I've driven here. Now, going back to the seats, it is a minivan, so we'll do a back seat review, of course. All right, so we are in the back of the Sienna. A couple things to note back here. I do actually have a screen, which, awesome enough, it actually has an HDMI in. So I haven't been in any modern minivans recently. I don't know if that's either a new thing or not, but that is super nice that you can do HDMI in. It's a little bit in an unfortunate place because that means you're gonna have an HDMI cord running down, but if you have like an Amazon Fire Stick, you can plug it in right there. I do have vents up here in the ceiling, as well as right here I have some controls so we can turn on heating and cooling right here. We don't have to yell up front. Other than that, the seats are decently comfortable. They're not bad. They're a little, oh, they recline. Okay, this is as far as they recline, which actually, I could totally sleep back here. Down below, I have two USB chargers, as well as a normal wall outlet. That is really cool. They know that kids are gonna be back here charging their iPads, iPhones, whatever the kids are into. I have flip down cup holders. Really nice there. And yeah, overall, it's a nice back seat. I mean, obviously people are gonna be spending hours back here. It's not a bad place to be. Although, what I just noticed, and I forgot to mention on my regular interior review, is that there are two glove boxes. I'll show it here. There's two glove boxes up top and down below. That's more of an 80s thing where there weren't airbags, but now I guess the airbag comes out up top and they still have two glove boxes. That's pretty neat. All right, back up front. Going off the back seats, there are obviously the two power sliding doors. Now, the nice thing about the sliding doors is even though this is the bottom end of the Sienna lineup, on the key fob, there are actually two buttons to control either door. So if your hands are full and you're holding the keys and your kid wants to get in or someone wants to get in or you need to open the door, you can open either door automatically with power from the key fob, which is super nice, super helpful. Like I said, if you're talking to like a parent after a football game or something and your kid's like, Mom, I want to get in the car, I want to get in the car, I want to get in the car, something, you know how kids are. You could just hit the button and they could get in and you can close it behind them because they're a kid and they'll probably forget to close it. And that is a really cool feature that I like. Then the trunk is, of course, very large. It's a minivan. I'll show video of the trunk here. It's not breathtaking by any means, but it is very sizable. You're going to be able to fit equipment in there or whatever you need. Of course, we'll talk about the looks with the Sienna. The base model doesn't really capture me in any way. It's a minivan. There's going to be 1.5 million of them in your next traffic jam. But as I was filming this, I did obviously get this car from Toyota, and they had a couple Siennas on the lot that were spec'd up. They had a couple appearance packages on them, and I'll show them here. They look actually pretty neat. If I were to get a Sienna, because I'm a car guy, I would go at least for the upgraded performance look, even though all Siennas have the same engine. Overall, I have to say I actually am pretty impressed with the Sienna. Really, the thing that captures me the most about this is the driving feel. One, it's super easy to drive. It's real nice and light. The steering is light. I don't have to fight it. It doesn't feel like I'm driving an unaerodynamic brick, but also it's very comfortable and it's spacious inside. And honestly, driving one of these for hours and hours wouldn't be that bad. I actually drove a Toyota Sienna for about 4 hours once on a road trip. Me and some friends packed up my friend's minivan and we headed up to Door County one summer, and I drove it for the 4 hours up there, and I really liked it. It was a nice, comfortable experience. Say what you will, these things are comfortable and they're useful. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys learned something about the 2019 Toyota Sienna. I want to give a huge thanks to Toyota. You guys know at this point, if you've seen my past reviews, Toyota has been awesome. They have been giving me cars to review, newest, latest Toyotas. So if you're looking for a Sienna or any other Toyota, definitely hit up Toyota of Naperville. Their information is on the screen. As I gun it in their minivan. It's not slow. Anyway, getting back to it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.
There goes a sight from my soul.